just so we have it, on record, I do think you should move to Port Huron, Evan. And it's
Did
cool
you
that
just go
you
live?
it's cool that it's cool that you think that too. Welcome everybody. We're back. Uh, this week of Facebook Live. So we are live, waiting for people to come in, waiting for Trash herself. Should we play some music while we wait, Matt?
Let's do that.
Which one are we doing today?
Let's go for the OG.
Is this the OG?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Wait, it always starts.
Love the drop.
I don't. It feels like it takes too long. Are you dancing too, Evan?
Sure.
Come on, Ev.
Whatever you need to tell yourself.
Oh, Evan's dancing right now. Actually, just like me. So, we will wait for Trash to join us. She's having a nicotine stick. We are drawing Trash today. We're starting, which I'm pretty excited about. And I'm excited for Carter and Jack to make their appearance. While people come in, first off, we'll ask Matt. Not in Austin. How the heck are you, dude? What do you? Where are you? What are you doing?
It's wedding season. This is the third wedding in 4 weeks for me. I'm in Boulder, Colorado, which awesome spot.
Wait, this
buddy's getting married.
Is number 3 in 4 weeks, or you just started?
This is the third one in 4 weeks. Started with mine May 11th, and then one last week in Maryland, one this week, tomorrow in Boulder, and then 2 weeks from now, another one in North Texas.
You and your friend
It's
had
wedding
a really
season.
good idea. You were talking about this 2 days ago. You had your wedding on Mother's Day weekend, and then your friend's having his wedding on Father's Day weekend. So you're just screwing everybody that wants to make time to come to your guys' wedding. When people are filing in now, while I make fun of Matt, they're filing in. You're like, "Where's Trash? I didn't show up for these two idiots and someone drawing. Trash is on her way. She's having a nicotine stick."
Nice save there.
You like that? I'm really getting good at not swearing on these. So if you're here for Trash, get your questions ready for Trash, and you can put them in the comments. Also, while you're here, just say hello. Say hello. What would your name be in Bastunia? And your name has to be an alliteration of yourself. Matt, the majestic. Evan, the eccentric. Dylan,
There you go.
Dylan, the dashing. What would your name be in the world of Bastunia? Matt's working on a short story right now with Pendelv the Parser. That's why he's pretending to be Pendelv right now, who is inspired by Matthew himself. And Joran the Jester, who is inspired by, yeah, you guessed it, Evan. Evan, while we're still waiting for Trash to come, you can have questions for Trash. How are you, Evan?
Yeah.
Dude, Evan's good. For anyone that's been here long
Wow.
enough knows that means Evan is doing well. Evan will be drawing Trash the Clown in Bastunia, as well as her 2 callings, Carter the Shopping Cart and Jack the Backpack. So both of these callings have the ability that we have created in our power system to shapeshift. Carter shapeshifts into a shopping cart, and believe it or not, Jack actually shapeshifts into a backpack. So we're going to be bringing Trash on. We're going to be asking questions of how did Trash come to be? How did Trash come to be? How did Trash come to Port Huron? How did Trash come to know Unfound Adventures? We already have people that are not here for us. Give it up for people that aren't here for us at all. We appreciate having you, Jordan.
Good choice.
Best friend since we were 6 years old. He's only here for Trash. Appreciate it, Jordan. Did we shared this as well on our public Facebook page?
Yeah, we're good to go.
If you're not following our public Facebook page, how dare you? Start following it. It's the longest cigarette I've ever known. Question that I didn't know. I actually don't know the answer to this. If you all know the answer, feel free to put it in the chat. If either of you two know the answer, I was just thinking of this today for some reason. How many cigarettes are in one pack?
I have no idea.
I've never had a cigarette in my life.
I'm gonna go with
I
12.
should know the answer to this. I've thrown enough away in my mom's packs.
You're going okay. So Matt's going 12. I mean, apparently Trash is having 3 of them right now. Matt's going 12. What would you guess, Evan?
Yeah, 12 or 15.
Okay, 20. Thank you, Michelle. My mom Michelle would probably know this as well. I'll go 16. I'll go 16. I have a feeling that Michelle's gonna win now. I really wanted to pull the 21, just go one higher than Michelle. Could be wrong. Are you smoking? Are you cheating? Go ahead, Matt.
Is that cheating to use your life experience to answer a question? Yeah, who knows? I did research. Actually, I actually did research for this about 5 minutes, but still, and learned that cigarettes are one of the top 10 most
Cool.
discarded litter. Yeah, in the world.
Ooh.
One of the
really?
coolest things to do. Yeah.
Top 10 coolest things you can do, and you roll them up. You're supposed to put them right here, and you just roll it up in your sleeve. Life experience. So I think Michelle's gonna be right. Michelle's gonna be right. It's gonna be 20. We're gonna ask Trash as soon as she gets here. Speaking of as soon as Trash gets here, she can't hear.
We got her.
We can't hear her, but she can hear us right now because she's backstage, and I'm tormenting her psychologically. The question that we want to know, Trash, when you come onto stage, is how many cigarettes are in a pack? And he's Trash.
I believe it's 21.
Oh my
20.
Ah, Dylan.
I would have been right. So
Dylan.
Michelle Sullivan came in and she voted 20. And I was like, I really want to be that, what is it, Price is Right person and say 21, just to go one higher.
We gotta get that one extra. That's the lucky one, you know?
Dang, do you always know what one the lucky one is?
No, because then you won't be lucky if you know. It's like.
So do you know after you had yours? We were wondering if you had 1 or 3.
What are you talking about?
Was it lucky one?
Trash doesn't smoke?
No,
what?
Trash doesn't smoke at all. No, that's what I said. Look at all these people are just here for Trash. Trash, we had my best friend since I was 6 years old, if you can see on the screen, said, I'm only here for Trash. So you have big shoes to fill. Big old clown shoes.
I've got big feet, so I can fill them.
We are happy to have you here, Trash. First, just how you doing? Before I do the introduction, how are you doing in general?
Oh, I'm great. My face is looking good today, and yeah, it's good. It's beautiful out.
You started the face like an hour ago, right?
I started the face when I hatched out of my egg. It's just kind of been with me, but.
Sends me a picture of her starting to get ready.
I did not.
You did, and then I'll show you. I won't show you the picture you sent me, but I will show the picture that I sent back to you, because I'm allowed to. I was catching up on my beauty sleep, dude. I'm coming off being sick, so I wanted to make sure I was ready to go for Trash, the clown today. So if you are here, first off, say hello to us. What would your name be in Bastunia? It's an alliteration of your name. The only person that doesn't have to do this is Trash, because it'd be like Dylan the Daring, Matt the Majestic, Evan the Excited, and it would be, I told you about him, Trash, and then it would be Trash the Clown. So what would your name be? Trash is the only one that doesn't get to have an alliteration.
Dang.
Yes. Well,
Trash the Clown.
Oh, Trash the Clown. So you would go off of the C and not the T.
It's fitting to break the mold for you, Trash.
You know.
Matt said,
I do what I want.
Matt said before you were coming here, he did a bunch of research on like what would Trash look like not your trash, but what would the actual trash be in like the garbage situation in Bastunia. So we're going to answer that question. He was also looking up that, because we were talking about cigarettes. I don't know why. We were talking about cigarettes, and he said that, fun fact, cigarettes are actually the top 10 coolest thing you can do.
Oh my god.
No, trash. What are they? Or cigarette cases are the top 10 most littered thing in the world.
The little butts. Yeah.
Did you know that?
One of the top 10. Yeah.
Oh, there's butts all over. Everyone has a butt too. That's the crazy part about it.
And half of them litter. Half of them litter with it. It's absolutely ridiculous.
People litter with their butts.
Yep.
I think that's called pooping. I think.
Welcome to our Facebook Live, everybody. For those that don't know, Trash the Clown. She is a local celebrity in, I was going to say Port Huron, then it turned into like St. Clair County, then it kind of turned into like the Thumb area. In like the last 6 weeks, Trash has created this, well, the last 6 weeks, we've only started to shine light on Trash the Clown. Trash the Clown has been created now for aeons, decades. But over the last 6 weeks, Port Huron finally wised up to know who Trash the Clown is. As a clown who, believe it or not, picks up trash in the Port Huron area, puts it in bags, leaves it, spray paints the word trash on it for people to pick up. Some people take it to their houses. We're gonna talk about what you've built. But in 6 weeks, your Facebook profile has went from 0 followers, I think, to like 4,500 followers in this area. You've used that to like get our community not only connected, like across the aisle, young, old, Republicans, Democrats, everyone loves trash in my hometown of Port Huron. And you've used that to not only create community, but to pick up our town. And we're also going to be talking about Trash Bash today. All of that to say, did I miss anything? Are you left-handed?
I'm slightly ambidextrous, you know.
What can't you do? Can we go through the resume real quick of Trash?
Go for it.
Started off working for the IRS, right?
Oh God.
IRS. Then what's the job where you have to pick up bodies after they've been deceased? What's that called?
I was called a removal specialist. I specialize in removing bodies.
Trash the tax collector.
Trash the tax
Trash
collector. Trash the removal specialist. Trash was also in a biker gang. Trash the biker gang. That is true. I mean, you can tell me. Feel free to tell me when I'm lying. This is Michelle the Smoker.
Cycles, right? Bicycles.
Yeah, just bike.
No.
Unicycles.
Leather. After being a biker, novelist, artist. What am I missing?
Clown.
Novelist. Here's a question that I have. If you have questions for Trash, because really, here are the topics that I have for today. How did Trash come to this world? How did Trash come to Port Huron? How did Trash come to Unfound Adventures? And then how do we picture Trash coming to Bastunia? So those are the questions we're going to be asking Trash today. But if you have a question for everything Trash has done, throw it in the comments and we'll make sure to ask her. Any off the top of the dome, Matt, that you have for Trash? I have a question if you don't.
Go for it. I'm thinking.
Trash, can you juggle?
Slightly. Not that great.
Slight juggle.
But slightly.
Can't keep the balls in the air, but yeah, can toss them for a few seconds.
I can get started.
Yeah.
Trash, question number 2. Can you ride a unicycle?
No.
No. So far.
Are you a professionally trained clown?
I'm a
people go to clown
professionally
college.
trained myself. No, I didn't go to clown
That would
college.
be a yes then, because you do call yourself Trash the Clown. So that would be yes. Professionally trained Trash the Clown. Slight juggler. Cannot do a unicycle. How are your pie throwing skills?
Oh, I could probably throw a mean pie, you know.
I mean, that's 3 out of 4. That's a pretty dang good clown, if you ask
Clown
me.
right there.
Checks out.
Now, we're going to go over to our resident talker of the group, Evan.
Tested out of clown college.
What'd I do?
Evan,
I failed.
Evan, what question do you have for Trash?
You have an incredibly diverse background, and I'm really interested in how you arrived at Trash the Clown, picking up trash and labeling it as kind of a community service.
Damn, beat me to that question.
Okay. Let me I don't know, just necessity, I think.
Okay.
Mostly just I realized that everything that everything that's being thrown at us, all that noise is just, it's so negative, everything. And so the way we converse with each other is negative, the way we look at the world's negative. And I just realized that as a community, not just here in Port Huron, but just everywhere, the zeitgeist has been this very negative. Things are going south. It never, nothing's ever going to get better. And so I thought, well, what if I just did something that's the complete opposite of that? What if I just try to pump as much good and as much positivity in a silly way into my world? What would happen? So it was really just like a artistic experiment, and it's been going pretty well.
How long ago did it start? And then for those that are anytime Trash, I'm not good at big words, so anytime something like that happens, I know it's coming across your face right now. For those that are curious, a defining spirit or mood of a particular period of history as shown by the ideas and beliefs of the time. Zeitgeist. How old?
It's the spirit of this project.
I have
words for Dylan.
I have said zeitgeist on this stream like 4 times already.
It's a good word. It's a good word.
It's a good word.
I'm not saying it's a bad word. I am just saying.
No, you're just telling me that you don't listen to anything I say.
No, very minimally. Very minimal. There's only so much I can
What
do.
happened?
Look, Trash is upside down right now.
I lost my light.
This is the perfect way for Trash to be. Didn't Trash start out as a character, right? Like, weren't you originally writing a novel about Trash the Clown?
Well, it wasn't Trash the Clown, but the main character's name is Trash, and I wrote an entire novel with that character, and I hated the book. I hated it, so I scrapped it. But I like the character though, so I kept it in a way.
How far into the?
Can
book
you tell us a little bit?
Yeah, you go, Matt. I'm already asking questions. You go, Matt.
Yeah. I was curious to hear a little bit about the plot.
The plot of that character, Trash at that time was just kind of just a city's weird homeless person, and everyone kind of thought that they were homeless, and they just made art, and they had some superpowers, and it was the main goal of that character was to shed the idea on whoever they met that within everyone is light, even when it's hard to see, and so you just have to kind of dig and find it somehow within yourself to let that light out. So that was like the main goal of it. But that book, it was probably close to 100,000 words, I would say. It was pretty.
That's a big undertaking. And then you scrapped it.
And I scrapped it.
Rivals Matt. I mean, do you know how many words you had, Matt, in our origin novel?
Oh, actually, no. I think it's going to be 130, 120,000, somewhere around there.
So only being an editor
accumulated
on
pretty
that,
fast.
Yeah, only being an editor on that, I know how long. That's like 350, 360 pages. So, Trash, you created a 300-page book, and you're like, you know what? What's next?
Yep, and then I threw it away.
You and I have talked about this concept. I don't know if you wrote it within that character or Trash in general, but writing a character that is ignorant of failure, which I wrote a newsletter on. Like, I thought it's such a cool concept. For you, why do you feel that's so important to have a character like that?
Because I think that's who we need to be. Failure is a part of life. Making mistakes is a part of life. Trying to do something and it not turning out the way that you expect it to be is going to happen. But a lot of times I feel like when we just let things be, that's when we find what was supposed to be in the first place.
How often do you find yourself what you do now, dressing up as a clown, going around picking up trash, building community? Like, how often are you running into that where you're like, am I failing? And then, or do you're not even thinking about it?
I'm just picking up trash, babe.
But usually you'll have like people catcall you, and you have no idea. You're just like, you have your boombox ahead of you, just listening to music, picking up trash.
Yeah, the first couple times I went out, the outfit was a little bit different, and I made it a little less. Like I had a skirt on, and then I realized like I shouldn't wear a skirt because like dudes were stopping in their truck, and like it was within 20 minutes of me going out the first time. I had a guy stop and was like, "There should be more sexy clowns like you in Port Huron," and I'm like, So I reworked it.
I'm here to pick up garbage, babe.
Right, just pick up trash.
If you were to answer the question, how did trash come to this world? What would your answer be? Because I feel like we can go 8 routes. We can go the way that you started writing it. We can go your actual lore that you have of trash. I want to know the lore of trash. How did trash come into this world?
I hatched out of an egg. I already said that. Are you listening? Are you listening to anything I say? I hatched out of an egg. I don't understand why it's so
It's just the
difficult.
zeitgeist of these live illustrations. Dylan doesn't listen to stuff.
Gosh.
You'll catch on. You're getting it.
Where was the egg?
It was dumped into the dumpster behind the Kroger on 24th Street.
On 24th Street. Okay. Was there anything else in the dumpster?
Oh yeah, like sludge and stuff, and some raccoons.
Raccoons. Could you describe to the people watching who were the raccoons that were there first when trash came out of the egg?
Well, it was Papa Raccoon who found me, but he wasn't my biggest fan. He left pretty early in my life, and there was Mama Raccoon, and she jumped in front of a semi. But it was Gam Raccoon who like raised me,
So 3 raccoons, all of them in this dumpster?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Close quarters,
So Dad left quick. Dad Raccoon left quick. Mama Raccoon jumped in front of a semi.
Yeah.
Oh man! And then Gam. What was life growing up with Gam Raccoon like?
Gam was, she was a feisty little. She had mange through most of the time I knew her, so she was balding and this horrible naked little thing. But she was so sweet, and she taught me a lot.
Uh-oh. Did you pronounce Goodles wrong? Michelle wants to know. She really wants to know where you're from because you say in Port Huron. Matt is completely confused. Evan, you just keep drawing, baby.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She wants to know where you're really from because the way you pronounce. How do you pronounce that word? How do you pronounce that G word?
Okay. So I did pronounce it in a video is Goodell's.
Oh no.
Which sounds better than Goodles, people. Like it sounds better. Goodell's sounds so much like,
So it's a preference thing. Your cover's not blown. It's just your preference.
It's like, people say the street grass shit, and I say grassois because it sounds cooler.
It is Goodles. Everyone knows the Goodles Fair growing up. Thank you so much.
It's Goodell's.
Dude, it's funny you say that. My stepmom, when she first started dating my dad, she would drive in from Flint, and she would always say she's passing Goodell's, and my dad and my grandma would always laugh at her. So it's cool to meet another person pronouncing it Goodell's.
Is this something that exists outside of Michigan too, where just like words are just pronounced however you want to pronounce them? And actually, I think I literally was in a town in Utah, spelled hurricane. The story behind the town was that like who were the founders of the Mormon church back in the day, like came over this ridge and it was super windy. And they're like, whoa, it's like a hurricane. But if you go into that town and you say, I'm just hanging out in hurricane, they'll say, no, it's hurricane.
Oh,
I don't understand why that is. Just to identify outsiders.
I think sometimes people just want to put their pinky up. What were you going to say, Evan?
I just said okay.
I thought that was going to be an okay that goes into something else.
Nope.
So, trash. You're not like the trash, the human, not from Port Huron.
Trash is from an egg. I don't understand what I have to keep saying this. Like trash.
Man. How often does trash go on adventures? Would you say to collect?
As often as I can. As often as I can.
And like for you, I think we know your 2 callings. So other than your 2 callings, your Bastunian callings, who else? Like what do you bring on your adventures?
Garbage bags and some gloves and maybe some water sometimes, and myself. I mean, that's about it. And speakers. There's always like music.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about your 2 callings and how they help you on these adventures?
Sure. There's my first one was Carter. Carter's my shopping cart, and he's whiny and he annoys me, but I love him.
Whiny and squeaky.
I said whiny. I'm pretty sure. So again, it's
First off, before we go to your second one, what do you think of Evan's rendition of Carter?
I love that. I am in love with that for sure. I love that so much.
He put this in our Slack group because I asked him. I'm like, "Hey, just do you have a start? Because we're doing three. We're doing you today. We're doing Carter and we're doing Jack. So I'm like, do you have a start?" And he just is the first thing that he sent me.
That's amazing.
In your mind, is this what Carter looks like when you
Oh,
go on adventures?
That's exactly what Carter looks like.
How would you describe Carter's temperament and personality?
Whiny, and he's like, he's lazy. I mean, he likes me to pull him along or push him, and he just kind of just, but he's big, and I love him.
Does he serves a purpose, obviously. And what would you? Who's your other calling that you take with you?
That's Jack the Trash Pack.
And tell us a little about Jack the Trash Pack.
Jack the Trash Pack, he's more ready to get some stuff done. Again, he doesn't do much because he hangs on my shoulders, but oh my gosh, look at that. I love that. Oh my goodness.
That's him literally holding onto your neck. So
I love it.
Evan didn't know. So believe it or not, the shadowed person is you. So we'll eventually put you.
Sure.
Where
It's been a busy day.
This is wild that you probably did this morning. Where Carter's a bit whiny, right? He's like, you have to probably do a lot more. Is Jack the opposite?
Yeah, Jack's the more he's the go-getter. He wants to get out, he wants to get some stuff done. He likes seeing the world from my back,
Which one would you talk to the most when you're out on some of your journeys?
Jack's kind of quiet, actually. Carter's the talkative one.
What does he want to talk about typically?
Nothing. Like it's like a kid, It's like saying "mom" over and over and over, and like eventually you just shut up. But
Matt, do you have any questions for Trash, Carter, or Jack on their adventures?
Well, I do want to look at the drawings that Trash has made because they're awesome. They got a little bit of lore too. So I've got my screen shared there if you want to look at this.
This was drawn by Trash herself. Incredible drawing, Trash.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead, Matt.
The what's on Trash's playlist when she's out collecting?
Oh, it's a good solid mix. It's a lot of like 80s, 90s kind of like deep club beats. Some like early 2000s stuff. It's all over the place. It's all about the vibe. I have to have like the right vibe so I can just like work.
I totally get that.
Do you ever pick up without music at all?
No.
Yeah, I would imagine that's gotta be like you gotta have some music going at all.
Always.
Why? I have another one. Why did you decide for Jack to be the explorer? For those that are here that have no idea who we are, we've created a comic world, which is probably most people. We've created a comic world where everyone knows their calling. They have a spiritual companion, anywhere from 1 to 3, with them at all times. And there's 3 paths. There's the builders of Bastunia. There's the explorers. So the builders, they want to create, right? They want to put themselves out there and create. The explorers are the adventurers, the philosophers, right? And then there's the defenders. The defenders are those that want to preserve. They're filled with love. They want to protect the people of Bastunia. So Trash, the character, has 2 callings, Carter and Jack. Why did you choose? So Carter is a defender. Can you tell us why Carter became a defender for you?
Because he's big. I mean, that's really he's big. I can hide behind him.
Okay. Does he do
That's
much,
about it.
Does he do much protecting, or do you feel like he's just a big target?
I mean, he's so thick-skinned that nothing can hurt him. He falls over all the time, and he's like a boulder.
Yeah. So when we would always put defenders into 4 categories. There's the vanguard, which is like the brave knights that are leading the charge, right? There's the shield defender. There's the stealth defender.
It's not stealthy.
I thought as I said it, I'm like, she's gonna pick stealth just to be a jerk. And then there's the medic. So Vanguard, Shield, Medic, or Stealth. Which one do you think Carter would be and why?
Just straight up shield for sure.
I figured that. That's one thing. Is the shield's got to be important, Evan, when we're making edits.
Mm.
Just have. Can we go back real quick, Matt? Making
Yeah.
sure we have
Yeah.
that perfect knight's shield. Nice little triangle. Okay, let's go to Jack now. Why did you make a snail your explorer calling?
Hilarious.
Because clearly he's an explorer. Just look at him. That doesn't scream explorer to you?
It really does.
Okay, I wasn't.
It really does.
There was a.
It's
there
kind
was
of
a,
beautiful.
I saw a snail on like the ceiling of my front porch the other day. Like that is an explorer.
That is a different way of looking at. Okay, so here's this is going to be an interesting one. There are 4 types of explorers in Bastunia Trash. If you didn't know it, there are explorer pilots, right? The ones that kind of fly around. There are explorer climbers. There are explorer sprinters. And
Definitely not a splinter.
Again, I thought you were going to take that. And then explorer mariners. What would you say, Jack, the trash pack would fall into?
I will just say sprinter just to be a jerk. Just because I can.
Honestly, when I saw the form, like it's either going to be climber or it's going to be sprinter as being a jerk. So we have a sprinter and a shield. If you were in a okay, so no, we'll get into the fantasy world in a minute here. How did you come, like, what was it about Unfound Adventures? I found you, right? You've put yourself out there. What was it about Unfound Adventures that made you decide to have coffee with me? You could have easily left me on red.
I should have.
She's already part of the clan, guys. Make fun of Dylan.
I mean, I think in ways our missions are very similar. Your mission is to bring the young and the old together, and that's really my mission too. It's like I want everyone to be able to have something to cling to, and because I feel like oftentimes like we get stuck in this this thinking that because we are different ages or from different backgrounds and stuff that there isn't something uniting us, and so seems to me that your mission is to unite, and so that's my mission too.
So that is so flipping cool. The way that I 100% agree. I remember having coffee with you at the Raven and hearing about what you're doing and what it is that we want to do, and it's being able to connect. Parents having this creative connection with their kids, right? And these kids thinking of this is a really great small shield for this huge creature. Kids being lost in these comic worlds, and a lot of times as parents don't know how to like keep up or ask questions. Matt and I and Evan have a gift, I think, to be able to talk to kids in the way they like to be talked to, and I know how to talk to parents too. How did Trash the Clown start out? Like, if we could kind of get into this philosophy of creativity, when you started Trash the Clown, did it start out as I'm going to unite people, or is it what it turned into and you're like, oh yeah, I really like that?
Oh no, it definitely started intentionally to create something that could like the clown was because I knew that a lot of people didn't like clowns. A lot of people are like weird about clowns.
Yep.
So I thought if I could take a character that initially might not be likable, but make them likable with what they do and what they are. If we can look at a simple character differently, despite what it's called and the ideas that we have about them going into it. If we can think about a character differently, then we can think about each other differently.
And it's turned.
I love that.
How long did it take before it to turn into? Because you now have people. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong or elaborate. You have people when you go out on your trash collections like that'll just join you. And from the pictures that I see, it's young kids, it's old people, it's men, it's women. Like how do people find you? What is it molded into now when you go on these journeys?
I assume it's sort of like Finding Waldo. It's just. Yeah. I don't really post where I'm going usually, just for my sake. because I'm just trying to pick up some trash. But yeah.
So if people find you, they're just like, all right, we found Waldo. Get your trash bags and let's go
For
pick up
sure.
trash with her.
I've had someone follow me home before.
That
So-
doesn't sound right.
But they helped me pick up trash, so I let it fly, you know?
Should you turn trash into the character that you wrote a novel about where people might think you're homeless? So you just maybe go to an underpass so people don't know where you live, and then once they leave, you go to your real home.
Well, I live in a dumpster, so does it
Followed
count
you
as the
back to
home?
the
I don't
dumpster.
know.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Right.
That is true. That is true. There was another question there. Now I can't think of it. Tell us a little bit about. Can you tell us about Trash Bash? Because you now have set something up. I believe July 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Trash Bash. Tell us a little bit about what it is, what it will entail.
All right, July 20th. We're going to. The day's going to start. That weekend is boat weekend or boat week here in Port Huron. So I imagine it's going to be a mess. So July 20th, we're going to start with a community cleanup effort. And then later in the day from 7 to 11 p.m., we're going to just have a concert and vendors and come together as a community and have fun.
I love it. Do you know where you're going to be cleaning up yet?
I'm not certain yet. I will probably know that week.
If you are tuning in and you have questions on Trash Bash, throw them in the chat and I'll make sure to ask Trash here. So you're going to start the day cleaning up with the town, and then what vendors, what music's going to be playing? Where is it going to be in Port Huron? It's in Port Huron, correct?
Yeah, Port Huron. It's going to be at Pine Grove Park. So we have the lineup for the bands is 4 bands. The bands we have are Breakfast at 2 p.m. That's a 2-piece guitar and drums, and they're I mean, all these bands are amazing and they're all local. We have Yeti, who is I believe Yeti just basically uses a looper to make his big sounds. And he's a fun performer and has a bunch of toys and stuff on the stage with him. There is Storm Theory. They're a 4-piece band. It's very like cool female-led punk is how I would probably describe them. And then we have Criminal Rock, which is actually a family band, which I like. Family bands just have that, they're lined up perfectly with one another.
A family band named Criminal Rock.
Criminal Rock, right?
Damn.
How cool is that?
What a cool I didn't say it. What a cool family. What a
Close.
cool
You're
family.
close.
Doing my best not to swear. Who's the first one? Because I was over at your dumpster recently and was listening to them. What's their name again? The 2-piece band?
Breakfast at 2 p.m.
Incredible.
Right?
They're so good.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
How are
Yeah.
the acoustics in that dumpster?
Oh,
It seems like it would be just perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Well,
Perfection.
we had to shut one of the we had to shut one of the things on the top, but then it was awesome.
Yeah, the lids, I think.
Yeah. Real quick, let me just find
Yeah. Let's
lid.
pull that definition up for Dylan.
Got
Define
it.
lid.
Hold on.
That's a second word that he's learned today. That's awesome.
God, I love this. Lid, a removable or hinged cover.
You're wearing
on
one right now.
The top of a
Oh,
container.
oh my God! Is this how we're vamping now by looking up the definition of lid?
Oh man.
Why am I here?
This is the downfall. This is the downfall of come on, this is better than zip lines and smoothies, Evan.
I assume you're talking about LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
yeah, it is. It is. No complaints.
Evan's a software developer at LinkedIn. Trash. I know you know a bunch about him because he shows his face. Speaking of Evan, Trash, and I want to come back to this. So far, just a check-in because we got 20 more minutes. Can we do a quick zoom out?
Yeah.
Thoughts, Trash. Thoughts on Trash the Clown. Thoughts on Carter. Thoughts on Jack. Any edits? Anything that's your liking? Anything you change?
I love it. I love it.
Come on.
I love it.
Give 'em
Evan, you
something.
do you, boo.
Come on. Get him a little comfortable. What do you know?
Well, I appreciate it.
About it?
I don't like the red beard that I'm seeing. That's what I don't like. But the pictures are perfect.
Oh man.
Might be time for a trim.
This is awesome. What What made you want to start Trash Bash? Because you could, like, you're picking up trash. You're bringing the community together. You have a bunch of followers. You have people that are like making swag for you to be able to
Mm,
sell and get the profits. Because I do think that's important. Like, you're putting your creative juices out there. Michelle loves it too. BT Dubs. You're putting your creative juices out there to be able to see it come in return. Like, people being like, "Thanks for everything you've given us. We'd love to give you something in return." People are creating Tumblrs. People are creating characters for comics for you. People are giving ideas for shirts and swag and stuff like that. So you're starting to see this grow with
mm.
what you're doing. Like, what was the reason for doing Trash Bash for you?
Um, just to bring something, give something for us all to come together, really, and to, the cities are always like doing events and things like that, but I feel like cities do events that are for the city's benefit, not for the community's benefit. So I thought if I could do something that brought like the actual community together, the people here, the artists here, the performers here, to showcase them, to showcase the community, then why wouldn't I?
Mm, mm. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons why you wouldn't, but the fact that you want to, I think, is pretty awesome. How I want to tap Matt in here too as I start asking these. I'd like to go down kind of the path on you love community, you love giving back to the people and continuing to bring community, but you do it through a creative lens.
Mhm.
If we could kind of go down the path of creativity for you, how would you define what creativity is for you? Like how you express yourself?
Mhm.
Because I think having
Um,
imagination is important, but then like creativity is how it comes out.
right. Um, I'm always asking the question if art comes from or through, and I don't know the answer to that. Half the time I feel like it's like I'm not even here. I'm just letting whatever wants to be.
Hmm.
And half the time I'm making something like if I'm making like an art piece or something, I don't have any intention of what I'm making. I'm just doing, and then something comes out of it. It's,
Do you put yourself in
Dylan and I have a
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, you first.
All right, we have a couple different ways of conceptualizing that. I think both of us would say that it comes through. I think of it more as like there's frequencies that you kind of attune to that at any moment, like of any day, you can choose anything. Like you won't decide to choose something loving or something silly and then be rejected. That's a choice that is always available to you. And then whatever comes through from that energy is kind of you're the materializing force behind it, but it wants to exist. It's there. That's like I'm an antenna. I think Dylan is a little bit more. You can go into depth on this too, but like
Ah,
the muses,
I
yeah,
love thinking of the muses of Greek mythology, of just like these women, these passionate, beautiful women that are like getting their thoughts out, getting their imagination and their creativity out to the world, and it's really just on us because we hear this stuff all the time. It's on us to be like, "Oh, that's groovy. I'll run with that if you don't mind." Because then what it does is it completely takes all the pressure off my shoulders of, man, I hope people like this or not. It's like, nah, this was the muse's thoughts. I just thought it was cool. Um, yeah, for me, I always have to put something in like a fantasy mythology terms, or it doesn't make sense to me. Do you lean more towards antenna, or do you lean more towards Greek goddesses,
or something else.
or something else, or raccoons?
hmm. The great trash bag in the sky. Um,
It's floating in the wind.
I suppose I just I take into account what is, and I try to see what it could be,
Hmm.
and and sometimes my hands work, and I'm able to make it into something that I think it was always meant to be,
Hmm.
without me ever knowing that it was meant to be it until I know it.
Do you,
Both, maybe.
yeah. Okay, real quick, because we've done 3 of us. Evan, the only reason I forget you at times is just because I don't see your face. Evan, what would you lean towards when you think of creativity? I think imagination everybody has, but like when it comes to creativity and like tapping into it to have the gumption to get it out there, like how do you view it?
Muscle.
Muscle?
Muscle.
Okay, would you like to elaborate on that?
Sure, if I must. I mean, you know me. I'm of the opinion that people who use the word talent are misusing it. That there's no such thing as talent in the way that we conventionally understand it. You know, if you want to be creative, it is a skill or a muscle like any other that needs to be developed and practiced and given intuition over time. And so to me, it's not necessarily like a spark of inspiration. That happens. Definitely inspiration happens. But as a process, I don't find it to be a reliable thing to lean on. You know, I don't really believe in relying on happy accidents. Random inspiration can absolutely be a process for expression, but you know, it depends on your goal, what you're trying to accomplish with whatever creative endeavor you're aiming for. Like Trash, you mentioned that you don't have intention when you start out on a piece, and that's completely fine. That has to be actually exceptionally freeing. But like me, I always have too much intention, probably, and as a result, like whether or not I am successful in a piece is very much informed by that intention and what metrics of success kind of come with it.
How
I think each.
yeah.
Hang on one sec before you move on. I think each of these, in their own way, are like a bit self-serving for us. Like
Mm-hmm.
you, Dylan, saying muses frees you from the the pressure of being so vulnerable and saying, hey, look at this thing that I got to put my name on. It's not mine. It's coming through you, and you can own it in a sense, but because you took the action to actually bring it to life, you heeded the call, as you put it the other day. But yeah, if the beliefs that we have around these are kind of just like these fervent hopes that are they based on anything? I don't know. They just kind of help us get the art done.
What same question for each of you, and then I want to lean into Trash's lore in Bastunia. But last question on creativity. If anyone else has a question, feel free to add it to the comments. How do you gain the courage? Like when you talk about heeding the call, right? That's what I'll say to myself. It's like I want to heed a call to get something out there, which gets me the courage to get over this first uncomfortable hump of creativity. What does it take for you, Matt, and then you, Trash, to be able to get over that? Because there is that hump. I think everyone has what it takes to be creative, as Evan would say. But it's like consistently getting over this hump to put yourself out there. What does it take for you, Matt? And then Trash.
Um,
Then Evan.
there's I enjoy being in the state of creativity, and that's the point. Spending that time in that state, and if something great comes out of it from my own perspective, or if something terrible comes out of it from my own perspective, um, that's just like sort of the byproduct. That's like a bonus. If someone reads something that I've written and they say, I really like that, I mean, it makes me feel good, but that's not the point. That's not what like I'm doing it for. I'm always maybe that is a little bit selfish. This is like a kind of the explorer tendency in me. I think that's my predominant path that I always walk. Um, is like the experiential side of life, and then art, just we get to keep that. We get to take it away. It like marks time in a sense. Like, hey, I existed, and during this time I created something. I also like that, proof that I existed. But more than anything, it's just enjoyable. I just want to do something that I enjoy.
Trash baby.
Ask me the question again.
Oh, for you, what does it take for you to be able to get over that, like the gumption or the courage, one might say, to like get over that initial hump of creativity to put yourself out there?
Right. I'm one of those people that will spend eons in my head long before I let something actually breathe. And I mean that was trash was in my head long before it ever was what it is now. And I think it's really just it's the let go. It's that like you're on the edge and you can either step back from it or you can just take the jump and see where you land.
Hmm.
And I think it takes that kind of like there's that part of you. It's like I don't know what's gonna happen, so I'm just gonna go for it.
Mm. Yeah, so what comes in my mind when you say that is like it'd be like if I was watching people jump out of planes forever, and I'm just fascinated with the whole concept of like, oh my gosh, and you like take in, you take in, you take in, and you get to a point when you're like, I want to do that now. And you
Mm,
just once you're up there, you've seen it for so long in your head and what it can look like that you just jump.
right. And it could be epically fail. It could be an epic failure, but so what?
You forget
Whatever.
your parachute.
Right. Oh well. It'll be a quick landing.
Honestly, that'd be like the easiest, one of the easiest ways.
Right.
Evan, what about you tapping into it?
I mean, so what you're describing to me is like the blank page syndrome. You're looking at a blank page, a blank canvas, and the hardest part is just getting started and putting something on that page. And definitely what you've described with, skydiving, or what Trash is speaking to in terms of having something rolling around in your head long enough that it builds up enough momentum or inertia until it has to come out. That absolutely happens. But so again, I'm coming from the position of like, I work with people who like want to do this for a living, and so the intention is extraordinarily different than a goal of pure self-expression. So that's definitely a disclaimer. But a piece of advice that I often give is like, if you have a magnum opus of a passion project in your head, don't touch it yet. Because no matter what you do, you're going to be disappointed with it. Not because it's bad and not because you're incapable of it, but because you haven't yet honed the personal intuition or the tools that you actually need in order to shape it into what you're seeing in your head. You don't yet have the arsenal. Not to get combative with my language, the
You are drawing a
arsenal.
defender right now.
I guess that's true. You don't yet have the arsenal to produce what you want to the standards of your own taste. And so, like, if you engage with that magnum opus passion project, you're more likely to burn out or burn out on it, which is tragic, than you are to stumble upon the perfect combination of words or images or mark making that just makes you go like, yep, that's it. That's what I wanted. So yeah, that's kind of where I come from. Definitely getting over the blank page is a matter of building the muscle memory to do so. It's a matter of endurance. It's like training for a marathon. You need to train in order to be able to reliably run 13 to 26 miles in one go. You can't just decide to do it one day and expect to be successful at it. And if you are, it's either a fluke or I don't know. You somehow trained for it in ways that you didn't imagine.
But it's this concept of building your way up to what you have in your head, like taking those steps to slowly get there rather than being like, all right, it's Saturday and I'm just going to start running 26 miles.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to write the next great American novel.
Yeah.
Or paint the next masterpiece.
Well, I think it kind of even says like for Trash, you did an entire 350-page book, right? Like trying to perfect who this person, who this archetype could be. Scrap it, but it's led to what you're doing now.
Right.
And now, from what I know, because I'd love to end towards this, now you're working on another story. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a couple, right? Children's book, and then we're bringing Trash back, yeah?
We're bringing trash back in a new way, yeah, for sure.
And we did talk yesterday in the dumpster with both lids up. We didn't really need the acoustics for this. We wanted the sun to come in. We talked about how that trash, this new trash story that you're making, could find her way. Are we gonna her way to Bastunia? How do you think Trash would find her way from her story into Bastunia? And what would she do when she got there?
Well, I mean, I pick up trash. So, how I got to Bastunia is just, I was picking up trash, and then there was this random door, and I walked through the door, and there I was in Bastunia, and so I pick up trash there. You know,
We
it's a very simple concept.
we talked about the fact of anytime this door appears and you walk through it, it takes you to a completely new place of Bastunia. And once you're there, you pick up trash.
I pick up trash.
And get on crazy adventures, learn different lessons, have tales to tell later.
For sure.
And how do you get back?
The same way I got there, a door.
Wait till you.
How do you get in and out of any place? It's a door usually. I mean,
well, it's a lid for your.
Or
dumpster.
a lid. There's a door on a dumpster too. Come on now, don't generalize.
Really?
Yeah, it's got a little slidey hatch door.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well that is what I would love to do. I mean, we were talking about business and everything. You need to speak with my wife. My wife's like, you know what you need to do, Dylan, is what I'd like to do is when we perfect Carter and Jack and Trash, we have recently created stickers with Chugach, and Buntu. We're gonna see if we can get a sticker made with Trash and her two callings, just to tag around Port Huron. So if you're watching this and you would like, there's Margie. If you're watching this and you would like a sticker with Trash, Carter, and Jack, just comment sticker in the comments if you're watching in the replay, and we will start to put those together so we can have them not only for Trash but also around Port Huron. That being said, as we finish up, Trash, any last thoughts on your callings? Any changes, any edits, any things you like?
I think they're amazing. They're gorgeous. I love them. I love them.
Perfect.
I'm glad.
We talked to potentially have a cool short story of Trash. It'd be a short, similar to what we're doing with Pendelv and Joran, where it'll be a short story with small graphics here and there, not a comic, that will run with one of our Kickstarters in the next couple of months, whether that run for our children's book series Kickstarter in August or our comic series that will run in September. We'll have a potential add-on of Trash the Clown, The Adventures of Trash, Carter, and Jack, with small stories on the side. All proceeds of the add-on going to Trash. So that's one call to action. Help this clown out. This clown has brought a community together. You can help her out by picking up that add-on, Trash Bash. Lock it in your calendar now. Boat night, boat week will be over Saturday morning. And what a great way to wake up, watch sailboats take off, give back to your community, pick up, and then listen to some groovy tunes. And there'll be vendors there as well. Perhaps a vendor that is selling comics. And finally, I will go ahead and say this. Hopefully you're cool with this, Trash. I am putting in the chat, if you really want to give back, which I'm going to do right after this. For those that don't know, the Venmo is actually an app where you can pay people for the work that they do. Sorry for putting you on the spot right now. Trash the Clown 1 gives back to our community. We absolutely love what you do, Trash. Thank you for spreading the word of Bastunia. Thank you for spreading the word of community and picking up Trash. I send you love on Gam Gam's passing recently. And
She lived a long life.
Hope this is the beginning of a long unfound friendship between the
I like what you did there.
Thank you. The fool, the writer, the really mean illustrator, and the clown.
It's gonna be great.
Perfect. Matt, any last words? Pendel.
There's a lot of trash in Bastunia. In the story I just wrote, one of Dylan's beasts destroyed half a town, and so I hope Carter shows up hungry.
I'll clean up Dylan's mess, I suppose.
Evan,
Goodness.
That's what we all do.
Evan, any last words?
It was great. It was great meeting you.
That was great. I mean, I don't know
Me
what you look
too.
like. You're just like a shadow
Not,
box. Right now,
neither do either of these two. Don't worry about it.
Yes, we do. Oh man, for those that are curious what Evan looks like, wait for our next Kickstarter launching in August for our children's book series, The Adventures of Beck and Keith. You can buy Evan a coffee, and we'll have a beautiful picture of him. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Have an incredible weekend. Happy Father's Day, Evan. Happy Father's Day, Matt. Happy Father's Day, all fathers out there. We love you. We appreciate you, Dad. If you're watching, I love you.